Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Criterion Connection. I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And this is our second of our double feature of the week because we missed last week. So
we're making it up.
Yeah. So El Sur was
Don't
the last.
Don't say anything about it.
El Sur was the other episode, the other movie we did, and these two movies that were this next movie is very different from the other one.
Yeah, but they're about the same length. It's really funny.
So we are doing the French film La Haine. Or La Haine, or La Haine, but I believe it's La Haine is what they say it.
I don't know French.
And from what I'm describing, from what I've heard I heard Jodie Foster talk about it. It's La Haine.
Okay.
Apparently. So yeah, this is made in 1995. Yeah.
It's very applicable to nowadays.
Kasavich, Kasavich. I'm gonna call it Kasavich. That's his name. The director. I saw this movie years ago. This is one of the first knowingly Criterion movies. I obviously did not know RoboCop. I said JoboCop.
You didn't know RoboCop was on the Criterion Collection?
I didn't know, yeah. But this is the one, I worked at a video store, and then we had a bunch of Criterion movies that we could rent, and I was like, oh, I'm going to rent. And our friend Mark was like, you should
Wait, is this a sneak peek of your rating? Because we shouldn't say it.
No. He said, you should check out this movie. And I did. And I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it now.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is one of those things that we couldn't think what to do, and I'm like, I looked at my shelf, and I'm like, let's do The Haine. Let's do The Haine.
This almost made reviews earlier in the list that we've got.
Yeah, this was
an early consideration.
Yeah. This movie, I feel, may be one of my favorite Criterion movies that's in my collection.
Okay.
I feel like it's the French do the right thing a little bit.
Sure.
Just not.
I can see where you're coming from.
Like, do the right thing is very pushed towards like the America's melting pot kind of like clashing. Mm-hmm. This one's more of like it's subtle. They're all kind of
it's kind
minority.
It's a class struggle.
Said is North African. Hubert is South African, and then you have Vince, who is
he's Jewish.
He's Jewish.
He's Jewish.
Yeah. So.
And they all live in the projects.
Yes. There's a lot of inspiration from American cinema, it looked like. I mean, obviously, the director was really a big fan of Taxi Driver. Yeah. Because Vince is very, I want to be Travis Bickle. Yeah. He likes the appeal of Travis Bickle, but is not, I don't think he fully grasped how mentally unstable Travis Bickle was.
Yeah, he wants to be a kind of uber tough gunslinging.
Yes.
Not even vigilante. He wants to be a criminal. He wants to be put in prison, get a reputation, be kind of a gangster. Yeah. I mean, they wear sweatsuits.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone is they're all kind of interesting. Saeed's kind of the more timid of the three.
Yeah, he just wants to make money.
Yeah.
And
Vince
Hubert wants to just get out of the ghetto.
Yeah, Hubert is the anchor. Mm-hmm. He's the middle.
He's the actually tough guy.
Yeah, he's the. I feel like if there's anyone,
but doesn't exude it.
I feel like if there's anyone in the audience that would kind of gravitate, it's towards him because he's kind of the middle ground of the two. Because one's either too timid, but really just wants to make money, or the other one is too extreme.
Well, those two are
but deep down, he's not that extreme.
And Saeed and Vince, they don't see any progress. They just want to move forward, and if they're criminals, they're criminals. They just want to keep going that way. They don't see any way of being straight and also successful with the state of things. They feel that they're kind of doomed. And Hubert, he feels that way, but he wants to move past it. He wants to get out of the projects. He wants to, see that there is a future, and he believes that there is.
And it really, they're disenfranchised youth. They're like, we have nothing to do. Literally the first third of the movie is them sitting around talking. That I like the one
with
where they're talking to his friend, they're talking about a TV show, and then they're like, then what? And he's like, that's it. And you're just
the candid camera, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like I love how because that kind of feels like how actual conversations go. Then what? No, sometimes there's no interesting story, and they're just bored. That shows how bored they are. They're just bored.
Or that part where Saeed's telling Vince this exchange that somebody had. And he keeps asking. He's like, "Isn't that a great line? Like, I would do it for free." Like, and he just keeps repeating it because they don't really have. It seems like they don't really have anything else really to talk about.
Yeah,
or they won't talk about anything else.
And I think the secret there's the actors are great. All three of them are great in what they do. I think Vince is this show stealer, but I think Uber is kind of like they underline like he there's little special things about him at times.
Mm-hmm. He's the one with I think everybody views as the most potential to get out of the project.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
because he was a boxer, he had his own gym. Everybody thought like
I didn't know
if there's going to be somebody that makes it, it's going to be him.
And I didn't know there was the French riots were a thing in the 90s. I didn't know it was a big thing. So it was kind of educational too. But I think the fourth character in this movie is the camera.
In a way, yeah.
The camera has so much style with how the cinematography is so much.
The transitions are.
There's so much
great.
style.
Yeah.
The shots are always interesting, well crafted, and they're always well framed.
Yep.
They're never like, oh, that could done with that. No, they're always well framed. Their one shot that I really appreciate on the second viewing is when they're on that bridge and it's kind of like a dolly back, but it's zooming in at the same time. Mm-hmm. That was a very interesting shot. It's kind of like a very kind of realism to it, it's not surrealism with how the camera's moving.
Right.
And there's that cool helicopter overhead shot of the neighborhood and just
oh yeah, where the camera rises up.
Yeah.
And then flies over. Yeah.
And it's very interesting because there's the supplements in this. There's Jodie Foster talks about it, and she was she brought up something that was very really that would push why the cinematography is really good is before the gun is in play, everything's static. They're sitting. The camera's not doing much. But when that gun is introduced, that's when they start moving because their lives are moving with the camera.
And it just the gun adds this kind of unpredictability to the situation, especially with Vince's temper.
Yeah.
And the friends don't even know that he has it.
That shot when they reveal the gun, that zoom in and he just points the gun oh my god, that is such a good shot.
And you have this background of unrest where they feel kept down and the police are over aggressive, and you actually get to see a scene where that comes into play even more, and because the whole thing it takes place right after one of their friends gets brutally beaten into critical condition, and they just absolutely are enraged, and just like the whole neighborhood, really. That's why there's riots going on.
That's why,
and it mirrors a lot of stuff that it still happens all the time.
That's why it reminds me of Do the Right Thing a little bit. This whole because Do the Right Thing is it's the hottest day of the summer, and it's you're dealing with. I don't want to talk too much about it because that's also a Criterion movie we have to do.
And a lot of in this movie,
but it's it's this rising tension. It's building and building and building and building. In them, it's inside. They're building this rage.
And this film takes place, I think, over 24 hours as well.
Yes.
Because you get the time and you have the ticking and some of those transitions, and it just kind of brings your blood pressure up because you know something's going to happen, and then the gun gets introduced,
and
the stakes just keep getting higher and higher until it just till
the end.
Till
Which
the climax.
I don't want to spoil the end, but the end is I'll just say, let's say they're Uber, you can have the gun, and I'll just leave it there because it could you're that was the most pivotal point in that whole movie was
well, it's this the
choices made,
how you're describing Do the Right Thing, where it's the hottest day of the year and everybody's tension keeps rising and rising with the temperature.
Yeah.
And it's this the whole thing it takes place right after one of their friends gets brutally beaten into critical condition, and they just absolutely are enraged, and just like the whole neighborhood, really. That's why there's so much in this movie, it's the same way without like the temperature. It's just as the movie goes on, you just feel the tension getting higher and higher and higher between the friends,
like Vince
between
is a time bomb
with the friends and the police, and it's just you have this feeling because the suspense is building because you have this feeling that it's all gonna pop off at one point, and you just don't know when, and it could be at any second. And the movie's really effective that way, and a lot of the crazy, like there's other really awesome transitions, like with the gunshot where he like pulls his finger like the trigger,
and then the guy
and then it cuts to another scene, or when Hubert like blinks on the bus, and you hear also kind of a gunshot or a backfire of an engine when he does it, and it hard cuts to another shot, and it's some really stylish stuff. There's a lot of like Tarantino influence.
Yes.
There's a lot of that stuff.
There's another shot that's very. The one scene that really kind of affected, like it was kind of like, it really speaks about now because like. It's like he's very into Travis Bickle and Taxi Driver. Mm-hmm. That's how the world is now with the youth. They're like very interested in these gangster movies. They're interested in violence and movies like Hostel, and they're all interested in that. And there's a scene where I believe they're in the theater, and this little kid comes up, and Vince is doing the finger gun thing, and the kid does it with him. Like he's idolizing Vince, who's idolizing a character that's not should be idolized at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a really subtle moment.
So it's like a circle. It's like it's just a cycle of like Vince does this, and then the kid is probably gonna be inspired by that to where now that kid's gonna become Vince. So it's a cycle of
violence,
self-destruction kind of.
Or that too.
Yeah. So Joe, buy, rent, or skip.
I'm gonna say it's a buy. I mean, it's a great movie. It's very stylish, and it's also got a very interesting story. It's something that an average audience member could gravitate to as long as they can bear subtitles. But it's a very kind of Americanized kind of, or at least it feels that way.
The guy was very obviously inspired by American cinema.
You see a lot of like. It reminds, like I said, it reminds me of Tarantino. It reminds me of Taxi Driver a lot, in that way. So, I'm gonna say it's a buy. It's an easy watch. It's very fast paced. So,
if you couldn't tell by how I was describing the movie, it's buy for me. It's buy.
I think Wade's awake now.
Yeah, like I was talking about El Cerro, just kind of like. This one, I'm like, yeah, this one's really good. Like, I feel like it's, for an average movie, I always want to put the average movie goer, when I say buy, rent, or skip. Mm-hmm. I feel like you said, there might be subtitles, but the camera, and not the camera, the style of it, I think anyone can gravitate to it. The style of it makes it really relatable in any kind of culture.
And the story is very applicable as well.
So I also read about the movie. That's why I bought it. I was like, oh, definitely got to buy that. It's definitely an own for me. So buy. So let us know in the comment section below what you think about Lahan. How do you say it? No, what do you think about the movie? Let us know in the comment section below. We'll have a conversation. Yeah. Is there any other French movies that are like this? Is there any other movies by the director that we should check out? I don't know if they're in the Criterion collection, but we'll definitely check it out outside of it. We might not review it, but we'll check it out. And let us know other suggestions. That list just keeps on growing. Keeps growing.
Yes, it does.
Thank you all. We're gonna get to all of them. But patience. We gotta...
At some point, yeah.
yeah.
We're getting there.
There's like 1,000 movies, guys. And then next week is our 4th of July episode.
The 50th episode. Yeah.
Is it?
I believe so.
Hold on, is the calendar... Am I thinking... Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it is next week. I'm like, wait a minute. We have a whole another week of June. That's what this is coming out. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, July 4th is our 4th of July episode. Our 50th episode. I'm losing it today. I'm losing it. Our 50th episode. We're doing an American pastime baseball movie, Bull Durham.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's coming out next week and then next month on Blu-ray. So we're like, let's do this one.
Both of those are correct.
Yes. Let's do this one. So we're doing that next week, and we have a whole. Man, we're still taking suggestions for this summer, but we got like a lot of cool things planned for this summer. A lot of cool movies.
Yep.
That we're gonna do. Yeah. So until next time, we will see you later. See what I did there? It was Vin's thing.